A new Poundland, the chain store that sells items mostly for £1, is about to open in the affluent area of East Dulwich. It's been criticised, though, by some local residents on social media, with one calling it reverse gentrification and another saying it brings down the value of the high street. Jessica Ewer went to Dulwich to chat to people in the area.
Well, I was a bit surprised, to be honest. I thought, oh gosh, this is East Dulwich, Lordship Lane, the ever-trendy Lordship Lane, with no disrespect to Poundland.
Good, I'm glad.
Affordable, yeah.
Not everybody's got loads of money around here.
Do you think you'll be shopping there?
Yes.
The fact they're opening up at all must mean that they see some business in it. They wouldn't be doing it otherwise.
Yeah, I think it's great. We don't need an overpriced high street, so we need shops for everyone. And there's plenty of nice independent shops, so I hope they survive, but it's fine with me.
There has been a lovely mix of independents around here, so I do worry about some of the different shops coming in.
I mean, the small shop now is non-existent, isn't it? You know, they're a minority now. We've got to support them.
No, I think that's a pretty good thing. You know, everyone needs a Poundland because it's relatively cheap. You get all your essentials from there and everything like that. So yeah, so I think it's a great thing.
Well, I don't know about you, but Poundland is a firm favourite in my house. In fact, when our local one closed down, we were gutted. We have to go a bit further afield now. Teresa, what do you make of this kind of mixed reaction in Dulwich? Do you think there's a bit of snobbery going on amongst those who don't welcome it?
Well, we've just had a Poundland open up in Chipping Barnet Town Centre and everyone's very excited. It's a great national brand, and what our high streets need above all else is footfall, and shops like Poundland can really drive that. So I don't know what they think in Dulwich, but in Barnet they're very happy with Poundland.
Yeah, Meg, you a favourite?
I shop in Poundland, yes, and we've got a couple in my constituency and very popular. But look, with the high street facing the challenge it is with many shops closing, I think we need as much as we can opening. So it's good news when a shop is opening. And in Hackney, just to reassure the residents of Dulwich, we have very many independent business, small shops surviving very happily alongside the bigger chains. So I think that both need to be there in order to make our high street successful. And I'd rather see a Poundland any day, or any shop indeed, than a boarded up building.
Yeah.
But something that could really help our high streets out in the suburbs is if the Mayor of London dropped his plans to expand the ULEZ, because that's just a deterrent for people getting in their cars and going to their local high street. And also, it stops people coming in from outside London to support our town centres. They have struggled over recent years, and it's a real shame that they're going to be hit again because
of course the ULEZ. The ULEZ, of course, will only affect the most polluting vehicles, and we need to make sure we've got good, decent public transport links across the whole of the city. And of course, it's the government that's screwed down the settlement for Transport for London, which has impacted our bus services. But I think we can't say. I think a lot of these high streets are very local shops, and people will walk to them, and that certainly happens in Hackney. People are not driving to the shops in my constituency.
But the government's poured billions into London's transport system to bail out the mayor, and
to bail out that we had less. The fares dropped massively because of COVID, so it's quite right that the government stepped in. But it's then played it like a political football, which has been really rough on Londoners because they're the ones at the moment having to wait for buses if they're not as frequent as they were because of that.
Yeah.
And so it's a big challenge.
There was the mayor's fares freeze, which obviously created some issues and painted him in a corner. But just in terms of people having a say on the high street, what shops there are, some people unhappy about it, others happy about this Poundland. Do you think that locals should have a say on what shops open up in their local area?
Certainly. I mean, these are sort of commercial operations, so it's difficult to sort of encapsulate that in a formal process. But I engage very closely with the owners of the shops in my local town centres and with great community groups like the Chipping Barnet Town Team working to ensure our high streets flourish. So public input on these decisions about which shops are in our high streets, yes, absolutely, that's tremendously positive.
Thanks very much.